Another day, another story. 10 ways you can spot a highly educated person. A highly educated person will usually have certain key traits, whether it's in their behavior or their social behaviors. This video will go over 10 ways you can spot a highly educated person, as well as how you can be one yourself. So watch on to learn all of these useful tips and tricks. Whether you're looking to be more charismatic or to learn about how to dress better, this video has tips that will help you improve your self-presentation and make you seem like someone who can hold your own around the right people. Welcome to KENNYGOLD LUXURY, where we share everything about luxury and assist you in experiencing the lifestyle of the wealthy. We classify the world's priciest goods and take a peek inside the homes of the richest people on the planet. Remember to click the like and subscribe button, as this helps us know how much value we bring to you and allows more people to get these values too. Here are the 10 ways you can spot a highly educated person. 1. They pay attention to their surroundings. A highly educated person is always aware of their surroundings. This means they don't just walk on the same path they take every day, they notice what's new and different. They also engage with their environment, engaging in conversations with strangers or other people on public transportation instead of watching videos on their phones. Educated people are constantly observing and taking in new information about the world around them. They pay attention to how those around them interact with one another, noticing things that most people wouldn't think to see. If you want to be more observant of your surroundings, here are some ways to go somewhere outside of your comfort zone. Read non-fiction books, try unfamiliar food or recipes, start listening to a podcast or audiobook. 2. They are good at small talk. Small talk is the polite, light-hearted discussion of unimportant topics. If you're able to make small talk with ease, then you are likely highly educated. Here are some other traits that suggest that someone has achieved a higher level of education. They have an extensive vocabulary. They often use difficult words in conversation. They have an extensive range of interests and knowledge in multiple fields. They can usually carry on complex conversations about many different subjects at once. And their speech patterns sound well articulated and articulate. All these traits might seem subtle, but if you find yourself lacking any one of them or having difficulty displaying them, then it might be time for a reality check. 3. They have a great vocabulary. A lot of people might think that the best way to spot an educated person is by how they dress or how they talk. This isn't true. For example, some people might wear jeans with a polo shirt and still be very well educated. Instead, you should pay attention to their vocabulary. For example, if someone says that they peruse the newspaper instead of reading it, then that person is more than likely highly educated. They can use big words like irrefutable without any hesitation. They can understand complex concepts in fields such as math, science, and social sciences. Most importantly, a highly educated person has wisdom. Wisdom comes from the knowledge gained through education, knowledge acquired from college courses or from books one reads on their own time. 4. They're interested in learning about anything new. People who are highly educated tend to be naturally curious. They're interested in learning about anything new and aren't afraid to dive deep into something they don't know much about. This doesn't mean they're experts, but they want to know as much as possible so that they can make educated decisions. This includes what's happening in their field or industry, but also things like politics or history. It's all related to the world we live in. A well-educated person is someone who wants to understand why things happen instead of just accepting them blindly. It takes education to take in multiple perspectives on an issue and put them together coherently. There are many ways you can tell if someone is highly educated, including asking questions and listening attentively while they speak. The most important thing, though, is whether or not they care about trying to figure out how our world works. 5. They are interested in many different things. One of the most important traits to look for when you're trying to spot a highly educated person is someone who has an intense curiosity about the world. A highly educated person will be interested in many different things, from food and fashion to philosophy and art. If you're looking for someone who's going to challenge your thoughts, this is the sign you should look for. Along with an intense curiosity, another sign that you might have found yourself talking to a highly educated person is if they seem like they are always reading something. This doesn't mean just books, magazines, newspapers, and novels count too. If they can keep up with the latest news while also reading Tolstoy in their downtime, it might be safe to say that they're well educated. 6. They dress well. Titles like doctor, professor, or architect don't always mean that the person you're looking at is highly educated. They may just have a high-paying job in those fields. However, there are some telltale signs you can spot to determine if someone is highly educated. One of the first ways to spot an educated person is by their wardrobe. If they look like they've got expensive clothes on, chances are they did not purchase them from Target and have enough money to afford nice clothing. Also, we all know that people who wear suits usually have higher paying jobs than those who wear jeans and t-shirts on casual Friday at work every week. The amount of time spent working also plays into how smart somebody is as well as what kind of clothes they wear. An average Joe doesn't need to go through 12 years of schooling and get a PhD in philosophy before he or she can walk out the door wearing Levi's and carrying a gym bag instead of going out for coffee with friends. 7. They are curious about other people's stories. They are curious about other people's stories. One of the best ways to tell that someone is highly educated is if they are interested in people's stories and will take the time to listen to them. Dr. Brown says a person who has been through hard times knows that we're all human and have struggles. When you're more interested in hearing what other people have to say, it shows how much you care about them as an individual, and it also shows your empathy for their situation. It shows that you know how to put yourself in another person's shoes and see things from their point of view. You can tell if someone is highly educated because they want to find out about other people rather than focusing on themselves. Highly educated people want to learn from others, not just teach. If you want to be more highly educated, think about others and not just yourself. If you notice someone talking about something that doesn't interest you, show some courtesy by listening anyway. 8. Their minds are open. 1. They're not afraid to ask questions and they don't have all the answers. 2. They have broad interests in many subjects and subjects they know nothing about. 3. They're not too cool for school or books. In fact, they might be one of those people who read every chance they get. 4. They're comfortable with silence, but are more than willing to engage in deep conversations with someone else as well. 5. Their vocabulary is diverse and always expanding to them. There's no such thing as too big of a word or too small of a detail to discuss or debate about for hours on end. 6. They never give up on their passions or dreams, and won't let anyone tell them that they can't do something because of their education level. 7. When you meet someone like this, you feel like you're talking to an equal because their mind is so open and creative. 8. Education should never be a limitation when it comes to making contributions in life, so the highly educated person knows this from personal experience. 9. And lastly, when you talk to these folks, it's easy for them to connect with anyone because even though they may come from vastly different backgrounds than yours, their minds are still open enough that everyone can feel included in the conversation. 9. Their opinions matter. If you're watching this, chances are that you're well educated. But what about the person sitting next to you? It can be difficult to tell. To better spot highly educated people, one study at the University of Chicago identified 10 indicators. 1. They have full command of their vocabulary. 2. They do not or while talking with others. 3. They use proper grammar in speech and writing. 4. They refer to themselves as he or she rather than using gender-neutral pronouns. 5. They often use abstract words like infinitesimal or predominantly. 6. They ask lots of questions because they want to learn more. 7. They are often aware of research into topics that most people aren't familiar with, for example, the history behind McDonald's trademark Golden Arches. 8. Their knowledge is broad and deep when it comes to certain topics, such as science or philosophy. 9. When reading, they will look up words that they don't know in a dictionary. 10. When asked who is the president of France, or any other country, they will likely respond without hesitation. 10. They aren't bad with technology. One of the first signs that you can use to identify someone with a highly educated background is if they are not bad with technology. Even though people are becoming more and more comfortable with tech, those who have completed degrees or professional development in higher education will often be able to navigate through apps and programs seamlessly. Another good sign is if they can talk about recent events in their field, such as current research or projects that are currently underway. The most dedicated academics will often know what's going on in their specific field better than anyone else. They also know how to keep up to date with new findings, discoveries, and other developments. They read for pleasure. Those who are highly educated also enjoy reading for pleasure. Sometimes this might mean novels, but others may prefer literature or books about history or other subjects. Some may even enjoy reading philosophy journals that discuss theoretical topics related to their field of expertise. There is no single book every highbrow reader will pick up, but some common choices include classics like Shakespeare's Hamlet, Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale, and Khaled Hosseini's And the Mountains Echoed. They're curious. Academically minded individuals love to learn, which includes broadening their knowledge outside of their discipline by attending lectures by experts in different fields. Conclusion. The next time you're meeting someone new, keep these 10 traits in mind and see if you can spot them. If so, you may be sitting across from a highly educated person. And if that's the case, here are some tips on how to be one yourself. 1. Bring up what you've read recently. 2. When someone says something confusing or incorrect, say I'm sorry but I don't understand. 3. Go for open-ended books that are difficult to read. 4. Leave your phone at home when going out for dinner with friends. 5. Read the newspaper cover to cover every day, even the sports section. 6. Ask more questions than you answer during conversations. 7. Make mistakes when speaking, then correct them immediately. 8. Always speak slowly and clearly. 9. Never use slang words like 10. Speak without fidgeting or looking around too much while you talk.